Hi, welcome to my video filming for the Baby Academy. My name is Meredith Jackman. I am a registered nurse as well as an IBCLC. I have about 5 years of postpartum experience, coupled along with lactation education. Currently, I am practicing just as an IBCLC now. Some funny things about me. Funny or interesting, I guess. I am homeschooling my children, so there's a lot of chaos in my home, but it's good chaos. I am also, I have been on a private plane, which is kind of fun. But yeah, that's kind of it about me. I have a very big passion for education when it comes to newborns, in all regards, whether it be breastfeeding or anything of that nature. So that being said, today I want to teach you guys how to bathe your newborns. It can be a very scary experience bringing a baby home and, along with all of the new things and then having to figure out how to do, these simple tasks that we've never done before. So it's always good to get a good thorough, hands-on experience with that. So today I have a few things here that we're going to talk about before I stand and show. So some nice bath soap, whatever is preferable for your home. I would say making sure something that's not super scented because we don't really know how newborn skins are going to react to things. Unscented soap is just the best way to go until you know that your baby is able to tolerate some scents. We've got some towels here. We've got a few smaller washcloths and then a bigger one as well to wrap our baby in after our bath. A bowl for rinsing if we need to as well, or a cup. And then we also have our baby, of course. For video purposes, let's use our imagination and pretend that this is an actual baby bath. So this is our little sweet girl here. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that our bath, I'm gonna stand up to show you guys. We're gonna make sure that our bath water is nice and lukewarm. So we can go ahead and get that set up. One way to test it is by putting your arm and your skin, like the back of your wrist, under it to make sure it's nice and lukewarm. We don't want it to be super hot. Excuse me, I'm gonna change my camera here. We don't want it to be super hot. So we wanna make sure that we are having that good, nice, lukewarm water. Sorry for technical difficulties. We want to make sure we're having nice, good, lukewarm water. Another thing we can do is recommended is to check your water heaters to make sure that they are below 120 degrees, that they do not go higher than that. But it's very important to make sure that we have good water temperature for our babies, not only for, skin irritants, skin issues, burns, but as well as thermoregulation. We don't want to be too cold as well as too hot. So we're going to fill up our little bathtub here. We want to undress our baby. It's our sweet little baby. Just like this. Okay. And then we're going to place our baby in our bathtub. We want to make sure that most of our baby's body, if we can see here, is exposed, right? We want to make sure that our water is about like belly button height. We don't want our water to be higher than this. We want to really focus on getting the water about this length, about this height, about our belly button. Excuse me. One thing we can do that is helpful to keep our soap nice and warm is we can give the soap, set the soap down in another bowl of water to get it nice and warm for our baby too. That's something that we did at the hospital quite often. Okay, so now that we have our sweet little baby in their bath, very important that we remain focused on our baby this time. We don't want to ever leave our eyes off of our baby. So at this point, I recommend getting one of your towels, the towel you're going to use to dry your baby off with, setting it down, on a softer surface, soft, firm, surface next to you. That way it's ready to go when baby is done. So we're going to start by lathering up our washcloth here with some water. And then we're gonna add some soap to it, just like so. We're gonna work from our head down. So we start with baby's. We start with baby's face. You know, make sure we're avoiding the eyes with soap. We don't wanna have soap in baby's eyes. We're going to do some hair. And then we're also going to move down to the tummy. As you're doing this, you know, think about baby's chest. We don't want that to be super cold. So we can kind of, you know, squeeze the towel, get some water. Shh, I'm gonna make some sound effects for you. Squeeze some water on baby's chest. Get everything nice and rinsed, like so. And then we want to make sure we're also mindful of the private areas. That's typically the last thing that we're going to wash, just because we want to go from cleanest to dirtiest. All right, our baby is all done. We don't want to have a bath that's more than about 10 minutes just for temperature reasons, because newborns have a hard time regulating their temperature. So we want to make sure we're mindful of that at all times. All right, so our baby is all done. We're gonna take our sweet baby. We're gonna immediately go to the towel here. I'm gonna lay my baby down, get us nice and cozy, and we're gonna wrap us up. Perfect, okay, like so. And we're gonna keep us nice and warm in our towel. So main takeaway points from the bath: making sure that we are, I call them the 3 B's. Be mindful of baby's position in the bathtub, be mindful of the temperature, and be mindful of the time. Okay, so we want to make sure we're, you know, not going a super long bath. We want to make sure our temperature is good, and we want to make sure that we have baby in a good position.